Welcome to another session in Microsoft Access Databases with Mr. TJ Zenda here, and today we are looking at query design. We are still going to continue designing our query. Remember from our previous session, we said a query, it is a database tool which is used to display data based on certain criteria and conditions. So today we want to make use of these operators, the between and in operators. We want to make use of these operators. So let's start with the between and operators. So the between and operators, they are used to determine whether the value of an expression falls within a specified range of values. So the range of options follows an order and it must be inclusive. So let's look at this example. We are looking at these students, right? We want to run a query of students who are between the age of 18 and 25. So it will display all the students with the age of 18, starting from 18 and ending at 25. So it's 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so 18 and 25 are part of our solutions. Those who are doing maths, you understand that you can actually convert this statement as greater or equal to 18 and less or equal to 25. 18 and 25 being part of our solution. That's what we mean by inclusive. Okay, so when you are working with the text here, there's something that I want you to know. So we say between and open the inverted commas between A and E. Okay, but there's a big challenge here, because when you say between A and E, then the query will run all the names of the students starting with an A, but E will not be included, as the database will not actually read any letter after E here. Okay, so I'm going to show you what it means. Okay, right? Also with the dates, remember to put the hashtags. Right, from our previous session, I've explained about the dates here, how to work with the dates. Okay, so it is very, very important. Okay, so let's go to our database. Let's open our database. So here's our database. I want to open this table which we are going to work with. So let's look at the trend of this data here. Okay, the shift amount, the number of shifts. We're going to work with the start date, the grade, age, first name, and surname. Okay, let me close. Now let's go to create. From create, we are going to use query design. Okay, now these are the tables, options of tables, and remember we are going to work with this one, volunteer data. I'm going to double click. The moment I double click this table, it appears on this side and it becomes active in these panels that you are seeing here. It becomes active, so these field names becomes active. So you have got options whether you are going to double click on this one and then the first option is added, or because now it's active in these panels, all these field names are also here. So I can also use this option and to add the field names, first name, surname, followed by maybe I want age, followed by grade, followed by the start date. I want maybe the number of shifts, and also the shift amount. So this is the query that we want to design. So if I run this query, this is what I'm going to see. But let's apply now the between and operator. So I'm going to switch to design view of this query. Right, let's start by the date, since we did not do much in our previous session. Okay, so under our date, remember for each and every field we have the criteria here. Okay, so under the date, so we want to see those students or learners who started to work from the first day of January 2017. Okay, so I'm going to say between, remember the hashtags 1/1/2017, then I close, then end. Right, we have also opened the hashtag 12, the last date of the year 2017, which is 31 2017. I close with the hashtag. So this is what we are actually going to see. Okay, so this is what we are going to see. This is what we have. So this is how we insert our between and operator when we are using our date. Okay, so I'm going to run the query now, and this is what we are going to see. Right, let's look at our date. So this is 2017, only 2017, only 2017. Okay, 2017. So we are using between and operator. Okay, so if we're going to save, then we're going to save this query, but we want to look at some few examples again. Let's go to design view, and our design view, let me remove the date. Let's also look at the number of shifts. Maybe we want to only look at those who have reported for only, we have got 1 and only 2 shifts. Okay, so between 1 and 2, then I'm going to run. Okay, so you can actually see these are the ones, number of shifts, this is the 1 and 2. Okay, right, let's go back to design view. And remember, we said you can actually say greater, remember, using the inequality sign, greater or equal to 1, and less or equal to 2. So it's just the same thing. So it's either use between, or you can use these inequality signs. Okay, then you run. So you can actually see that we now have this number of shifts. So we are seeing these shifts in this query. Okay, let's go back and do some few examples. Okay, let's look at let's look at the first name. Let's look at the first name. We want to look at the students with the name that starts with A, and those with the names that ends with a B. So which means I have to include the next letter, which is the C. Okay, so I'll only see those with A, starting with A and a B, and then C will fall away. Okay, then let me run. So you can actually see here in our first name is only the B's and the A and the B's. Okay, so it means if I wanted to save this query, then I can actually save it and then create another query. But still, we want to apply some few other examples. Let's look at last one. We want to look at the age. Okay, I can say I want those who are between the age of 17 and the age of 18. So remember, numbers, we just insert them as they are. Then I can run the query. So you only have these learners with the age of 17 and 18. I'm sure you are seeing what I'm doing here. And then if you want to save this query, you can actually save it. Okay, so this is how you are going to work around with these operators. Design view, maybe you can want to have the multiple operators. Maybe they should be in grade 12, only in grade 12, and also maybe they've made only 1 shift. Okay, so these are the multiple operators that we have, and let me run the query. So this is what you are going to see, and this is another query that you can save if you want to look at the grade 12 learners who are between the age of 17 and 18. We have attended only for just once for this shift. Okay, and then you can save the query. You give it a nice name in line with what you are working with. Okay, so this is another way of looking at your query design using operators, between and operators. Okay, let's look at another sets of operators. Okay, we also have the in operator. Okay, the in and sets operator, and this in operator, it is a logical operator that simplifies filtering data against a list of specific values. Okay, so you can actually use the in operator to check if a value matches any item in a specified list. It makes the query criteria much easier to read, And these sets operators are used to merge, compare, or extract commonalities between the result sets of two or more separate select statements. So we want to make use of this. Okay, so in most cases you might have a situation where you want to look at a number of options, like I want to look at the teams which are in division A, B, or C or D. So we can actually say A or B or C or D, right? The sets of these options, they do not have order, but if you want to apply order now, then you can use the in operator, in with a set. Inside the set, you put your options inside the set like this. It makes everything much simpler and easier. Okay, so we want to apply the in and the sets operators, the in and the sets operators. Let's go back to our database, right? Let's go to design view. So in this case, let's look at this situation where I have the grade. I'm going to just delete these operators. So I want this query to run for grade 10 or 11 or 12. Okay, so maybe we're dealing with a school from grade 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12, and we only want to look at the grade 10 or 11 or 12. Okay, then I can run the query and it's going to show me, this is what is going to show me, only the grade 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so maybe we're going to save the query grade 10, 11 and 12 with a shift of 1. Okay, right, let's go back to design view. We are still working with a shift of 1. It's fine. Maybe so instead of doing the all this, we can actually make use of the in operator. So we can say in, right, then open the bracket, you say 10, 11, 12, and then you close the bracket and then you run the query. So it will just run the same thing. So you can use the in and sets operators in this way to make sure that everything follows a structured way. So this is how you are going to apply the in and the sets operators. Remember, if we're going to use the text, we're simply going to apply those quotation marks around our text to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So this is what I wanted to show you today on how you can use the between and in operators, the between and in operators. Okay, let me know if you have any questions, any suggestions in the comment section. Please like and share this video. See you in the next session. It's added. Okay, goodbye.